We have an audio check. Yes, no, maybe. Nobody hears any. Oh, thanks, Jim. Okay, great. Good morning, everybody. This is Welcome to My World, the early morning edition at about 8:25. This is Tuesday, the 24th of November. And let's see here. Overnight, we have had these indices have taken a pretty good hit, and then they bounced around for a little while, and it looks like we've got the TF is not quite as strong as the others, but they are all starting back down again. So this is kind of what one might expect given the overnight news. When the world gets a little more into a iffy situation emotionally, then we're going to see these markets kind of get a little jittery, and it kind of looks like that's about what it is right now. It looks like the serious news is coming out of the Middle East, which I've been expecting for quite a while. We'll see how that affects everything, but if it continues or gets worse, we might see some movement. And keep in mind that the big money is still being moved around in these markets. So it will cause some volatility. We have a lot of news, economic news coming out of the U.S. this morning. There is GDP price index and the goods trade balance. That's here in just a couple of 3 minutes. So if you're in a trade with one of these indices, I'd pay close attention to it. Then at 9 o'clock, we have Belgian, I love this, the Belgian business climate report is coming at 9 o'clock. Don't you love that? And there will be the S&P CS Composite 20 news, which usually doesn't affect too much, but at 10 o'clock is the CB consumer confidence, and that will likely, and Richmond, maybe, but the CB consumer confidence might cause some movement at 10 o'clock, so I'd pay attention to that too. We had the VIX end up about right at 15.5-ish, 15.62 is where it closed yesterday. So we'll see. In this kind of an environment, I would suggest you pay pretty close attention to the VIX if you're trading indices, because as that thing starts to rise, you can expect to see the indices continue down. And we'll see how that pans out. Bonds took a nice move up overnight, and gold looks like it would like to go up also, which is another sign of a little bit of a jittery global effect. Gold is a reserve. It is seen as a reserve currency. Unfortunately for the U.S., it's no longer the case. But anyway, when we get to crude oil this morning, we've had some nice movements in crude oil, but I would caution you, remember when you took some of the elite apex training, these little small bunchy apexes, these are very difficult. And what we need is to see this overnight. We had this nice trend, and then overnight, if you look at the range channels, there was practically no movement, no volume of any kind in crude oil overnight. When it takes a whole hour and doesn't even make one bar, you know it's a very slow market. They've got a lot of paint there drying, and it must be pretty thick paint. So I do not like this idea. Look at this. There's a pattern of little apexes, and then it broke to the downside, and that put up the first. If you recall from your apex training, one of the things we do with these apex E's is to wait for the second one to confirm a trend change. So if this is what you're using, that's that. And right now it's all bunched up here. This could move either way. But when you go over here and look at this new sharpshooter, this, you'd have to be willing to sit through some of this stuff. There's the news right now. So we'll see what happens here. But you have to be willing to sit through some of this bouncy stuff, which I don't like personally, and I'm not willing to sit through it, so I just avoid this. I avoid it like the plague. But we'll see what happens here, because we've got big ice volume right here, just below this green ice, and then down here I put my alarm, my doorbell, whatever you call it, the price alert. That's what that is. Which, that's an indicator. You can go in and put it for whatever price, and it will drag. You can move it wherever you want it. I want to know when the bus is about to arrive at the bus stop for the mid line on the ice today. And that's about. Oh, the other thing is there's a lot of volume in the DAX this morning, and it has been on a steady decline. It's painting red apexes, and it's trading down to, what is this, the -2 deviation level right now. That's a really big move down in the DAX. So the expectation would be for the U.S. indices to follow it, unless we get some staggeringly good news out of these economic reports, which I seriously doubt. The main thing is to keep your mind in neutral and trade what you see, trade what the indicators are telling you. Don't rush a trade, don't get in a hurry. There'll be plenty of trades, and there'll be plenty of opportunity to take trades. So get picky. Remember being picky about those trades and being patient enough with your trades to turn them into profit. It's all about P's and peeing. So keep that in mind, and then I'll come back about noon, and we'll see how this shakes out for the morning. This has been my view from my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll see you about noon. Thanks.